Here's one from Ira and a few of your other female fans who all want to know, are you ever going to join Twitter?
Am I ever going to join Twitter? Well, I'm a bit Stone Age when it comes to social media platforms, and I think there may come someday when I'd actually educate myself enough to actually join such things, because I really don't know how Twitter works. So that must be big news for some people out there.
No, not at all.
Some may not even care that I know or don't know anything about Twitter, but as of now, I think I have very limited ways of interacting with my fans, and because I think most importantly because I'm not as active. I consider myself to be a very lazy person, a bit of a bear when it comes to that.
I have to ask you, Fawad, I mean, we all know you're happily married and, but how is it when you get all this, how do you feel receiving all this female attention? And I'm not just talking Pakistan, like I said, you've become a bit of a global phenomenon because of the drama Humsafar, if I'm really honest. So how do you cope with all that female attention?
I have a very strong woman at home to keep me on the leash. Yeah.
She keeps you in check, does she?
I think I owe a lot to all those fans out there, but I think that that having known my wife since the age of 17.
Oh, your childhood sweethearts.
Yeah. She's
so cute.
She's the first and last woman as of now in my life, and having known my wife ever since then, and she's the closest companion and probably the closest friend that I've had, it does become very easy to actually stay within my limits. But having said
she
that...
sounds like a good, strong wife. We like her.
Yes, and I do too. I love her from the bottom of my heart. I like her much more than you.
You see, after all those lovely things you've said about your wife, girls are going to love you even more now. Do you realise that?
Girls are going to hate me even more?
No, they're going to like you even more because they're going to be thinking, wow, Fawad is like the perfect gentleman. We all want a husband like Fawad.
So, wow. Well, then I guess I should just keep my mouth shut.
A lot of your fans want to know, firstly, have you had any offers from Bollywood, and would you say yes if the right script and offer came along?
I've had offers from Bollywood, and I've talked to people off and on. And if something does come along that I feel that I can perform well enough up to the expectations of myself and to the people on board, then I think I'll take that jump as well.
Fantastic. Here's a question from Sidra. She says, can you ask Fawad, which character have you really enjoyed playing the most? There's Ashur, Zaroon, Hassan. Which one?
A character that I don't know if many people are aware of. Something that I felt that I enjoyed the most was this character. It was a village oaf that I played in this drama called Akbari Asgari, and the character's name was Asgar, and it was completely despicable and a completely I don't know what word I would use for that. Well, I call it a village oaf from the start of it, so that should say
pretty much, yeah.
Should say a lot. And I'd want people to actually watch that. I'd actually want people to watch that.
So there you go, ladies. You can go online and watch it.
Decide themselves.
Pardon
me?
Sorry, I said all the ladies can go online now and watch that drama.
They can watch that and they can hate me after that, and they can just completely lose their crush if they happen.
I don't think that'll happen in a hurry, in all honesty. Aisha says, what kind of preparation goes into, some of the emotional scenes? Some of them are really emotional in Humsafar. So how do you prepare yourself for that? Because I can imagine Offset, you, Myra, and Naveen all had a really good laugh.
Well, I wouldn't say I really go into a mode of preparation for that. It's just something natural normally we just sort of rehearse the dialogues and then try to make sense of it as much as we can on our own, and sitting with our director in any scenario, I think. And then in my case, I think I just try to pursue it in a way that's most natural, something that does not come off as being extremely overly dramatized, something that just would lose its meaning, I think, in front of the audience. I try to make things look as different as they can, as compared to other people, but not intentionally. I think when it comes to acting, I think that one should try to understand where the character is coming from, and whether it does require something that's overly theatrical or something that's something that could work. Something would work even if it's very subtle. So one needs to understand what they're doing at that point in time, and not try so hard. So I've learned that over the years, because I'm not a formally trained actor or musician, and I try to learn from my mistakes. I watch my stuff, and I try to understand what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong and what looks right in the perspective there, and then I rely on my team as well. All of these things together make things work.
When I was speaking about, Humsafar on the show, I had an email from one of our listeners in Karachi, and she said to me, Noreen, when Humsafar was being shown in Pakistan, the country came to a standstill when it came to the final episode.
Wow. I didn't get the question there.
Well, no, I'm just saying, just generally, that when, Humsafar was being shown in Pakistan, that literally the country came to a standstill because everybody was indoors waiting for that final episode. Everybody wanted to see how it was going to end. That must have been incredible.
And that is incredible. If that is the case, then that is very incredible.
So when it was being aired, I mean, what were you all feeling? Like yourself, Myra Khan, Naveen Wakar, Noor Hassan? I mean, were you all sort of discussing it amongst yourselves, going, wow, this is just weird, this is crazy?
I think it didn't hit us at that point in time when it was running, when it was airing. Things came to our realization, I think, much afterwards, when people started, sort of coming up to us and saying that you've done something incredible. But at that point in time, it's pretty normal, because I was just sitting there and watching it. I didn't know what it was about to become. We only realized that somewhere around 2 or 3 months down the lane.
Of course.
When people started, I think, according to them, they started getting the withdrawal symptoms of Humsafar.